Happy Wednesday. How's it going, everyone? We are live. And by we, I mean me, because it looks like no one's here. But that's fine. It's a lovely Wednesday here in Boise, Idaho. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. It is getting cold out here. I imagine all the people that moved here from wherever they were and coming up here in the spring and being like, oh man, this Idaho thing ain't so bad. You know, everyone told me it was gonna be cold. You just wait. It's about to get really cold. And you know someone has been in Idaho for a while when they say, oh, Boise winters are mild. Like, yeah, compared to what? Negative 25? Like, geez. So, I've been having a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with the YouTube channel here. It's been nice since I went backpacking with my mom, and I just got done with the Sawtooth. I invited everyone out. All of you were invited, and there ended up being 4 of us that went, 4 guys. We all had to, I invited everyone. Everyone was invited to bring their special lady friend, but somehow it became a guy's trip, and most of these guys I didn't really even know. I think my closest friend on the trip I had hung out with twice. But it was a blast. We got into the Sawtooth right in the beginning of October there. And I've been putting off the Sawtooth for a while because just the smoke has been so bad. And we got beautiful weather. We stayed the night the first night because it was 2 of us from Boise, 1 person from Seattle, 1 person from Montana. And so we all met in Stanley the day before we were about to ship out. Well, that makes sense. You'll see why in a second, or hear why. But we stayed the night at Stanley Lake, Mount McGowan, and we were obviously, all of us, I had warned everyone, man, it gets cold in Stanley, coldest town in Idaho, and it's already getting cold. And we were seeing on the forecast like 15 degrees at night in Stanley. And when you think about being up in the mountains, you expect it to get colder. So we stayed the first night at Stanley Lake in that controlled environment. Obviously, you're by your car. You have a little more creature comfort. I even slept on a cot that night, and it was cold. It was so cold. We were so worried. We woke up the next morning and we were like, all right, what else? What does everyone have in their car? Let's take everything. So I ended up packing like extra down jackets and stuff, and what we ended up doing was we took the boat, ship off, from Redfish Lodge across Redfish Lake to the inlet, and hiked up to Saddleback Lakes, which it's going to be interesting how I make this video, because if you ask, I've been going to Stanley for a while now, and you ask all the people there, like, hey, what's your favorite place in the Sawtooth? And I would say 8 out of 10 of them say Saddleback. So we'll see how I make that video without pissing all them off. But we hiked up to Saddleback, and we stayed the first night, and it was cold, but it was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, are we having a warm front move in? And then from Saddleback, we hiked to Barren Lakes, and the second night, I didn't even wear socks to bed. It was so warm. And then we hiked out to Grand Jean, and 2 days later, it snowed in the Sawtooth. So we had perfect timing on that trip. Just a real fun time with a group of guys. Morgan, how's it going? Tucker, good to see you. Okay, so tonight we are going to jump into North Idaho and how to bike North Idaho and the trip we just had. It's going to be like this. I'm trying to get into a rhythm, into a routine that works for me with this YouTube channel, because obviously I was doing, uploads every Monday, and it got to be a lot of work. I was doing uploads every Monday, and then I would go hiking. And for like one hiking trip, I would do a day every Monday. And now the way I upload, obviously, is like a bike trip that took me a week. Then I got to put it together, and then I got to upload it. So I have these like big uploads that I do, and then there's some littler things that I'm trying to incorporate every Monday, like just basic, like how to fix your tent pole. What does REI's hiking outfit cost? I've got one on sleeping pads coming up, and I'm going to try to do some cooking stuff with my mom. But the schedule on this YouTube channel I'm trying to get a rhythm with is like, after these big uploads, these big 16-minute adventure vlogs, I call them, I'm going to try to live stream every Wednesday afterwards. So upload comes Monday, live stream comes Wednesday. So if you enjoy coming to these uploads, definitely if you see a big video like what we just had, expect a live stream to come Wednesday. So we're going to talk about what just happened there in North Idaho. I'm going to try to break down how you yourself can plan your own North Idaho biking trip up there without even having to sign on to that trip, because I think it's something real easy to do. And I also have some stuff that didn't make it into the video because we didn't do it, but I have been to North Idaho and done that trip multiple times. Not like that in one sitting, but like I've been to Coeur d'Alene a few times. And so I'm going to give you some ideas on other stuff to do in the areas that we visited. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about something totally... Oh, sorry, bumped my mic. I wanted to get into something totally unrelated that I wanted to talk about. And it's like, you're like, oh my gosh, what's he going to talk about? COVID again? Like, we don't want to hear that. No, it's nothing like that, but it is a serious problem and we need to have a talk about it. And actually, I just want to know, I just want to ask you, I just want to rant about it, because that's what social media is for, right? You just complain about others into the ether. Just vent your frustration with other people into the ether. But there's something that's been bothering me for a while, and I got to know, am I like a psychopath, or maybe this bothers you too? And it has to do with grocery stores. I don't know where you live, but here in Idaho, we have grocery stores and Walmarts and things like that. And we have one grocery store called Winco that is pretty popular here, and then we have Albertsons. And in all my time, I go to grocery stores a lot. I'm not one of those people that goes to Costco every month and does like the $1,000 grocery shopping trip and then leaves. Like, I've already been to the grocery store once today. I might go again, who knows. It's usually like, I'll go to the grocery store every day, even twice a day. Maybe I go get lunch, and then it's like, Sarah, what are you making for dinner? And she'll tell me like, I need this, this, and that. So I go to the grocery store a lot. And every grocery store, Fred Meyer's, oh my gosh, that's some bougie shit if you go to Fred Meyer's. Good on you. You must be doing well, John. But yeah, Fred Meyer's too. You can totally take what I'm about to say and translate that into Fred Meyer as well, because I feel like this goes just across the board. That I'm no architect, but there is a way, there is a route that you should take when you go to the grocery store. And watch, like my psycho ass drew it up for you. I'm no architect, but here is my diagram of how a grocery store should work, all right? Look at it. Take it in, take it all in, take it in. If you don't know this, I'm about to teach you how to grocery shop, okay? So don't worry, I've got this also on my computer. We're really gonna get into this. I am absolutely insane. All right, whatever. You know what? What's the point of having this YouTube channel if you can't have fun with it? All right. How do I switch things? Bam. Let's talk about this. All right. So every grocery store has this layout. All right. Every Walmart has this layout. Usually there is one door for in and there is one door for out. All right. We're gonna figure this out. And it should look like this. This is the flow of traffic, okay? People are saying Boise's getting bigger and we're growing and stuff like that. Idahoans, we need to learn how to actually walk through grocery stores. So there is a designated in and there's a designated out. Now, I always go to the Albertsons on 36th, and they have a very small in sign on the doors and very small on the out. If you go to the Albertsons on like 17th, there is no in and out sign. So, I mean, you get a little bit more of a pass there. It's like Albertsons, up your game. And then if you go to Winco, they have huge plaques that say entrance, exit. And the reason for this is to keep traffic moving, okay? And you can see why. Like when you enter, you don't want people entering the out. The out is built so that once you get done with the checkouts, there is your out. There's your out. If you come in there, I always hate that. It's like you're you're trying to go through the aisle. This happens a lot with self-check, but you come out of self-check and there's people walking through the self-checkout lane like they're just going for like with their cart, taking up the whole place. We all have to stop and be like, "Hey, you're in my way." Or like you go out and you've got your cart and there's someone backing their cart out, and now they're just taking up, like traffic is just getting blocked up because they're trying to push their cart through your cart. And it's like, this is not the way this goes, okay? And I feel, oh my gosh, I feel like my father is just sitting at home right now if he's watching this, and he's just like, And I feel like this is inexcusable. And I'll tell you why this is inexcusable if you're one of those people that's going through the out. If you enter a grocery store from the out, you are one of two people. Oh my gosh. You're one of two people. One, you just don't know that that's the out. And if that's the case, then I mean, come on, get it together. Get it together. I feel like you need to be more observant. You're just not observant, and you like be more observant. If you see if there's an outside on the door and you don't see it, and you've been going to grocery store, you should know grocery stores work like this. So that you're that kind of person. My dad was a teacher, and he always hated the other teachers that said there's no stupid questions. He was like, no, there are stupid questions. There's stupid people that do stupid things. And it's like, if you're going through the out, I'm sorry to say that's you. I'm sorry to say it. It's okay. You can change your behavior. If you're the other person, you're worse. You know that's the out, and you just don't care. You just don't care about other people. You don't care about walking through people's lives. You don't care about disrupting traffic. And if you're that person, you're worse. So that's my rant about grocery stores. Did I lose everyone? I'm sorry. We'll get it. I'm sorry. Rant done. All right. We'll get into North Idaho now. I just had to get that off my chest. I even drew this diagram up. What a psycho. So, works good until they remodel the store and change everything around like they're doing at Fred Meyer at Chinden and Linder. Morgan, we've met before. I'm sure you can figure it out. I'm sure we can figure it out, right? We can figure it. And part of it is on the grocery stores. It's like the Albertsons at 17th and State. It's like, please put an entrance and an exit on the doors, okay? So that we can just all not push through each other's lives. But okay. North Idaho. So, let's get into this video. Enough of that. Enough of that ranting, John. Hold, please. So obviously, thank you to everyone that watched the North Idaho video. North Idaho is beautiful. Coeur d'Alene, Spokane, Chatcolet Bridge. We started this trip in Spokane, and you start with a day in Spokane. If you are going to North Idaho and you're from out of town, that is probably where you'll fly in. If you're from Boise, you can actually get round trip flights. I think my round trip flight was less than $300. I mean, I think it's like, $129 per flight. So you can get up to Spokane pretty easily. You can also rent a car straight from the airport, which I did. You will need a car probably to do this trip. We had the van with the shuttle and all that. But Spokane was a really, really cool town that I really enjoyed. I haven't been there in a while. It's apparently popping off just like Boise, just like North Idaho. We stayed in the historic Davenport Hotel. I will pull up Google Earth here real quick. So if you go to Spokane, I highly recommend. This is a look of the downtown city. This is that park right in the middle, which if you're going to Spokane, you're probably going to hit. Riverfront Park. It's a very popular place. You can ride your bike, and we did. This is the bike path that we were taking, right along the river. Right along the river. Here's the Centennial Trail Bike Park. I haven't even looked this up. I mean, I haven't looked at this, but this is the big park that we started at, and we just came all the way from this park, all the way down across here, down Riverside, all the way down to Riverfront Park. What was the name of this again? I forget the name of this state park, but it was in there. What was it? Anyways, this state park, all the way down there. And this was our hotel, right over here. The historic Davenport, lovely hotel. I got here the day before, and I hit up my friend, I just hit the Instagram like, hey, I'm in Spokane for a day. What would you all recommend? And I got a response from my friend, Mikhail. And she pointed me to this lovely little coffee shop that sits right here called Atticus. And right next to that is a cool little store called Boo Radley's, which has just some of the craziest, like, I don't even know what to call them, gifts, souvenirs. Like, it's like a elevated Spencer's Gifts, if you ever remember Spencer's Gifts. And the Atticus coffee shop had, like, books and puzzles and a bunch of cool stuff in that shop too. And so I was able to get coffee, do a little shopping there, and then walk across the street to this park. And if you're in Spokane, I recommend checking that out for a day. I don't know what this is, but apparently this was part of some sort of expo that it got built. The Spokane River is right there. You can stand on these bridges. You can ride your bike across these bridges. This is another restaurant that people visited from my group. I did not go there. It just kind of looks out over the river, a really fun place. So Spokane, a really cool town. Now, we just did this bike tour, and from this park here, which I'm going to find the name of that park. Why not? It's in the video. Riverside State Park. So we just did Riverside State Park downtown to Spokane, and then of course you gotta pack that up, get in your car, and you gotta go somewhere else. Riverside State Park. This is part of the North Idaho Centennial Trail, which is a big deal. There's Riverfront State Park. From there, you're going to make it down to Coeur D'alene. So you'll either drive up to Coeur D'alene, I'm guessing, from Boise if you're from Idaho, or you'll fly into Spokane and you'll eventually make it over to Coeur D'alene. And Coeur D'alene is obviously a super popular tourist town. It looks like a tourist town. This is the resort, the marina. It's all right there. They have concerts in this little back area here. This is Sherman Avenue running right down here. It's kind of the strip. That's where everyone hangs out. There's a ton to do in Coeur D'Alene. I pulled some stuff up that I would recommend besides just the bike trip. First off is they have the oldest hamburger joint in Idaho. It's called Hudson's Hamburgers. Really cool spot. What's crazy is I have this, I've been doing this like a long time before before I even knew how YouTube worked. But I have this huge playlist of North Idaho stuff if you ever want to dive in there. I was looking at some old stuff, like this crazy vlog where we did, what's it called? Timberline Adventures. I would really recommend this. I'm not a big fan of zip lines, but this was the coolest zip line I've ever done, was right up here in Coeur D'Alene. And it was just so funny. Actually, when we were doing this, it wasn't even open yet. They were still testing these lines. So, I mean, I don't know why we were the first ones to do them, but really big. By the way, if you build zip lines, we talked to this guy who built a zip line. It's like, when you're testing them, that's some dangerous stuff, but really fun. I would recommend this zip line tour. The office is in town, Timberline Adventures, and then you take like a 4x4 up there. It's a really cool time. I would also recommend Hudson's Hamburgers, which is right on the strip. Even if you're not, I don't know, not if you're not into hamburgers, because if you're not into hamburgers, don't try it. But everyone's always like, oh, it's not the best hamburger, because I always say it's the best hamburger, and I know, it's not. It's too crowded. It's too this. It's too that. It's an experience. It's been there for over 100 years. Same family. They have like 5 ingredients. They got the bun, the burger, cheese, pickles, and onions. That is the whole burger that you can get. You can get a single, you can get a double. If you order 5 burgers, which I did, they bring them out to you one at a time, so they're always hot off the grill. This counter space is so small. A lot of people, you could see the line out back behind me. Yes, I want another one. Of course I want another one. Stop asking me. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, so you can sit at this counter, but a lot of times there'll be people behind you waiting to get a burger. But it's a cool experience. I would try that. Atoll is right around the corner. Farragut State Park in Coeur d'Alene, where you can do this other tree climbing course, a lot like the zip line, but a little bit more intense, not intense, but a little more physical. Like you actually got to climb and do this cool stuff. You're strapped in, but and right next to that is the Naval Base Museum, Farragut State Park, where it's America's only or biggest, I'm not sure, fact check me on that, inland naval base, or it was during World War II. And now it's a museum. So a lot of cool World War II history there. The museum at the brig, which is there. Oh, okay. So there's the museum. It's just, they converted the brig into a museum. But that's all there at Farragut State Park. So if you go to Coeur d'Alene, there's that. The other thing, which I kind of showed in the newest video, was golf. You can golf at the Floating Green, which is a very popular golf course there. Obviously, that is the Coeur d'Alene Resort. Usually to golf at that place, though, you have to be a member or you have to stay at the resort. So the resort has packages that you can buy that include golf, so you can stay there. So if you're big into golf and you're like, I want to go play the Floating Green, it's like $200 a round and you got to stay at the resort. But for a lot of golfers, that's worth it. And then the trail itself that we did in Coeur d'Alene was just this, around the lake. So obviously there's a lot of lake activities that you can do, parasailing. I left a link in the description below. Row Adventures, the person that hired me, they're based out of Coeur d'Alene. Their office is right back here. Oh, well, you're gonna see it. Their office is right behind the resort back here. But they offer kayak trips, there's parasailing. You probably saw a shot of me jumping in from right here into the lake. This is Tubbs Hill. It's open to the public. You just come here. You can do a lot of hiking around this. You can hike all around this if you want. And then this would be the west side. This is all cliff jumping. So open to the public. You just go down there. You just jump off this cliff. That's a really cool free activity that you can do. And then, yeah, we did, you can bike all the way around this thing. So this is the path that you saw here's the Floating Green right here. So this is kind of where we started, right in here. I think we parked here and everyone got out. Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Course with the Floating Green. And then we biked down here, just along the way here. And you can just see this keeps going and going and going. We biked all the way to Higgins Point. It has a statue of a guy with an old-timey camera that was really cool, and that was kind of where we ended it. So obviously a bunch of things to do in Coeur d'Alene if you want. There it is. So you could just do Coeur d'Alene. I mean, that's what a lot of people do, right? And then from Coeur d'Alene, we went to Harrison, Idaho. I love Harrison, Idaho. I think Harrison is my jam even more than Coeur d'Alene. I don't know why, because it's never been open since I've been there. But it's just like a cool little Idaho town. It was, it's just got like a really old school feel. I don't even know how to describe it. We'll look at it here in the video. I need an engineer to come. I need a Jamie. It's so hard to talk and to navigate. So this is Harrison. I mean, just a really cool little town. There's just, basically the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes is all that's there, with some coffee shops and some restaurants. But really you come down to Harrison to either get on a boat or do the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes, which, I mean, I just dig this kind of stuff. The old school market, like the old school post office, the park. Like we did it in the brutal winter and it was still super fun. I'll get into this Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes. The best part about it is just the nature that's there, the wildlife. It's this really crazy wetlands, which probably doesn't translate on camera as well, but when you're going by and we saw 3 moose on our one trip, just bald eagles hanging out. Like there was a blue heron that just like came up and sat on the trail that you probably saw in the video. And I've done this twice now. That stuff seems to be very common. This is Chatcolet Bridge. It's been in the videos a few times. Really fun thing, a real highlight of the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes. On the other side of Chatcolet Bridge is Harrison? No. That's not it. Is a state park. Oh, don't mess this up, John. We talked about this last time. There it is. Found it. What state park? What's the name of this state park? Anyways, Hayburn State Park. That's it. I knew it. So this is another cool thing is this is the bridge. So this is Chatcolet Bridge right here. This big long thing in the middle of this Chatcolet Lake that takes you across. This is Harrison. So obviously you can drive to Harrison and get on the trail of the Coeur d'Alenes. You can also drive to the state park, Hayburn State Park. Parking is right there. So if you have your own bike, you can park right here at Hayburn State Park and start this 73 miles right from the start of it, and go through Harrison and all the way up through, to Kellogg. The other cool thing is if you're looking for a place to stay, I wanted to do this for a while now, is they have, if you're like, oh, I don't know where to stay, in Hayburn State Park, I think it's right over here in this general area. Maybe it's in here, but they have little cabins to rent right in here, which looked super cool. And I've talked to people that say, oh yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot of hiking to do around here and stuff like that, obviously, with this big, wide, vast area of the state park. So if you're like, yeah, I want to check out the trail of the Coeur d'Alenes, I don't know, maybe you want to bike around it one day and out and back, but you don't actually want to go anywhere, you just want to hang out for the day, that could be a really cool place to stay, in those cabins in the state park. Because Harrison, it's a cool little town, but there's no place to stay. And then, of course, if you don't have your bike or anything like that, the coffee shop that I pointed out earlier in the video is right here or something like that. Oh, no, it's right here, the Cycle House. So you can rent a bike there. I looked up the pricing. For 24 hours, it's $90 for an e-bike. I didn't see they had all sorts of other bikes though. You could get, fat bikes there. You can get hybrid bikes. You can get mountain bikes. You can get road bikes. So you can pick your bike up from there. I went inside the coffee shop. They have a full bike shop in the back. So it's not like, oh yeah, we have these bikes just sitting here. No, they've got bike technicians and everything in there. So it's actually a legit place to get a bike. So that's Harrison. And if you're road tripping this thing, you're talking about, flying into Spokane. It's about 45 minutes to Coeur d'Alene. It's about an hour to Harrison. And I think if we pull out here, you can just kind of see, you would start, I gotta forget. You would start in Spokane here. Here's Spokane right here. Boop, boop, boop. And you'd come across, heading west, and there's Coeur d'Alene. Again, if you don't want to bike this either, this is just a sick road trip. You could just do the road trip. Here's Coeur d'Alene, and then the way we went is we went this way, down 97 to Harrison. You could also go, the back way if you're going to Hayburn. This is where Hayburn is, and the bridge. So that's from Harrison. And then from Harrison, we went to Kellogg, which is right here. Once again, you could skip Harrison if you want, and you could ride the trail of the Coeur d'Alenes all the way across, following this you can see this river here through Cataldo, and all the way to Kellogg. So if you really wanted to be ambitious, it is a 73-mile bike trail, and you can take it all the way to Wallace. That's ambitious. That would be fun. But if you're like most people, you'd probably just do a little biking here, and then you would go check out Kellogg. And Kellogg is the home of Silver Mountain. Basically, Silver Mountain is Kellogg, right? It's North America's longest gondola ride. It's got Silver Mountain Resort. I dug Silver Mountain. Radio Brewing Company, that's right here, is where I eat every time I go, by the way. If you are looking for like just a cool vibe and a fun place to eat, that's always where I go for dinner. The Bean is always where I get coffee. And then there's the resort. This was my first time staying in the actual resort. I've stayed across the street. I've stayed in Airbnbs, but actually in the resort was cool. It's a really nice little resort. They have Idaho's largest indoor water park, which I love how they say that, right? It's like, we got Idaho's largest indoor water park. It's like, is that a thing? Is that a thing? Like, how many water parks do we have? How many indoor water parks do we have? I mean, I feel like I've been doing this job for a while, and that's the only indoor water park I can think of. I mean, the other water park is Roaring Springs here. And then, I don't know, Silverwood. There's this place called Silverwood up North Idaho that still to this day I've never done. It's our biggest, like, amusement park. But I've never done it. But no, it's cool. You could go, you could do the whole surf thing that you probably saw in the video. The other thing you can do there is if you're into biking. Sorry, hold please. Nah, I won't pull it up. Anyways, if you're into biking, they do downhill mountain biking at Silver Mountain. You can rent your downhill mountain bikes actually at Silver Mountain. That's the other thing I should mention. If you need a bike in Coeur d'Alene, the Coeur d'Alene Bike Company is where I would go to rent a bike. They're great. They've always helped us out and given us, rented our bikes through them. They also have a store in Kellogg. So the crazy thing is you can rent a bike in Coeur d'Alene and then drop it off in Kellogg. So if you want to do that whole trip down the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes, and you're like, I don't want to go back and drop my bike off, you can just drop it in Kellogg while you're there. So that's a great place to do it. But Silver Mountain also has downhill mountain biking. It's the best downhill mountain biking that I've seen in our state so far. I just did Tamarack and Brundage, and I've done Bogus, and I've done Jug Mountain, and out of all of those, which isn't that many, but Silver Mountain to me was the best. It's the biggest. Like that gondola ride is intense. Most people don't even. If you want to ride down after you're done with your downhill mountain biking ride, you can. And it took Chad and I an hour to get from the top back down to the resort. A lot of people just put their bikes back in the gondola and head down. But I mean, that was like one of my favorite Idaho things to do, was that trip from the top of Silver Mountain all the way down on a downhill mountain bike. I ate it twice, I think, but it was still like a blast. I mean, it's intense. My forearms were hurting because I was hitting the brakes a little too hard, but really, really cool thing. And there's of course the water park with the wave, you know. Let me see if I can pull up some Silver Mountain. Silver Mountain downhill mountain biking. Do you think my video on it is ranked number 1 on Google? Not even close. Get out of here. Oh, so far down. How am I ranked like 5th? Come on. So yeah, look at that. Look at that young guy. So fat. No, I'm kidding. Visit Idaho videographer. Can't say that anymore. Here's the gondola, obviously. Oh, that's the other thing about Silver Mountain. In winter, it's a really fun place. Like, we just did that this winter, and We actually just did, I don't know if anyone caught it, but in the winter in February, I released a series of 7 videos called The Great North Idaho Road Trip. It's a really cool series. Brett and I were watching it the other day and we're like, man, this is actually really cool. But it shows like Silver Mountain, Schweitzer, Priest Lake, the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes, all this stuff in the winter and how to do a winter road trip. And I've left a link to that playlist down in the description. Definitely, like, start from the beginning. We take a sheriff's boat up the Kootenai River to like the Canadian border, and then we take a cat with the sheriffs like up a hill and do some backcountry skiing, and then from there we go to Schweitzer. It's just a really, really interesting series that I would definitely recommend. And Silver Mountain the same way. The water park is still there in the winter, and everything's open. But yeah, downhill mountain biking to include with your Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes. And then from Kellogg, we went to Wallace, which, I mean, I think I explained Wallace pretty well in the video. Wallace is absolutely insane. If you go to Wallace, the people there they're super proud of their town, first of all. It's like the proudest people of a town I've ever met before. And weirdly enough, I think the one thing they're the most proud of is how many bars they have and just how good their bar scene is. Like, I even got, before COVID hit, I was supposed to go there for a blues festival in July and shoot that. And yeah, the pitch to me was just this whole, like, we want to show off this blues bar scene because we have 11 bars. I think they have 11 bars and 750 people. So, and all those bars are not just like ho-hum bars. It's like on Friday, all those bars will have live music, which is insane. So it's actually this crazy, crazy party town. And then all the museums that they have there, they have the silver mine tour, obviously. They have a mining museum. They have a Wallace Museum that shows a lot of like history on the railways and the Hiawatha Trail and stuff like that. And then they have a brothel museum, which I've been in, and it's cool. It's not as risque as you would think. It's like pretty toned down, but just real cool from when that was like a silver rush town of just all the people that came through there. You know, Wyatt Earp was there for a time, set up shop there. So there's a lot of really cool history in Wallace that you can check out that I definitely want to go back for that blues festival. Silver Mountain again, sorry. This is the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes continuing from Kellogg to Wallace. So it's a real nice bike ride too if you want to do the Kellogg to Wallace run. And it's like, it was not far. It was less than 30 miles. Yeah, and this is the kind of stuff you get on that trail. It's just like a mother moose and her baby hanging out on I-90. That story of I-90 is super crazy. That's why that town looks like that. It's just they put it all on the Register of Historic Places because they wanted to build that. Basically, the original plan for I-90 was to come down this road. Ooh, stop where I want you to, right here. This road was supposed to be I-90. So they sneakily, those sneaky Wallace citizens got all this reserved on the National Register of Historic Places. So they had to build it around and over. Here's one museum up here. This is the Wallace Museum, the museum about like the Hiawatha and stuff like that. That's their information center. This is the brothel right here. Or it's right here. It's one of these. I think it's this one. And then the mine museum is down here somewhere. Really good places to eat along with that bar scene, is a good food scene. It's just a super underrated town, like for a good time. You would think this is like the podunk, like Idaho town, and it is, but in the best way possible. This is where we ate, and it's a coffee shop, and they had like delicious baked goods. It was great. The manhole cover is right there, which is the most ridiculous part of Wallace. I am not shitting you. It was just a bunch of guys that were drinking at this bar. And that bar's not there technically. It is a bar, but it's a different owner bar thing. But in that bar they were drinking, and they were just like, what is that? Was the center of the universe, right there. And the other guy's just like, how, why would that be the center of the universe? Well, George, if we just say it's the center of the universe, then like you can't prove it's not. That's literally what they did. And then the next morning they didn't wake up and they didn't call each other and be like, man, that center, man, dude, like way too much tequila last night. Like those fireball shots at the end were not good. They were like, hey, remember that center of the universe crap that you were talking about last night? Let's actually do that. Let's actually build this whole manhole cover. Let's have an event around that every year. Like that's Wallace. They're like, anything to throw a party or to do anything like that, they're just going to go for it. So sounds like I'm hitting on Wallace, but I love this town. Like it's so crazy. It's so nuts. In the same way that mine tour is just absolutely insanely fun. Like I'm not a big tour guy. There's two tours that I think you should do in Idaho. One is the old Idaho State Pen, which is Idaho's most popular tour. It's here in Boise. That's just cool because of all the paranormal stuff. Like you're into ghosts and stuff like that. You can actually like get with a guide at the old State Pen, and they'll like take you in the execution chamber and stuff. It's nuts. It's crazy. It's kind of frightening. Halloween's coming up. They're going to have stuff going on there. Definitely go check that out. Wallace has the second tour, the second most popular tour, and it's the Sierra Silver Mine Tour. And the coolest thing about it is how authentic it is. They have real machines in there that real miners will run. It takes about 45 minutes to do the tour, which I think is a good time for a tour. Any longer than that, it's like, get me out of here. But for that tour, it's real miners running real machines. The dude that we had was so funny. So every miner is different, and they are not tour guides. They're miners. They're real miners. So like the first guy I had, the first time I ever did the tour, he was great. He was loud. He was boisterous. He just knew how to like, you know, interact with people, cover your ears and stuff. The second guy, the guy we had on this one, you talk real quiet like a miner, and you had him going to decipher what he said. I'm going to run this machine right over here. And he just hop on a machine. He would run it. And he would give nobody any warning. And his hearing has to be shot. But he would just hop on these machines, start them everyone like this. That thing is loud as hell. And he just gets on it and he's like, I'm going to show you how we drill for silver now. And it was just like, oh my God. What? There was an 80-year-old guy on our trip that asked this guy halfway through, and he's like, Gene, how's your hearing doing? You have any hearing left? An 80-year-old asking this dude if he's got any hearing left. Like, but that kind of stuff is so fun. I love how authentic this trip is. It's just really cool to be in that mine. It's really cool to get the real miner. It's not like someone in a suit and tie. Like even the trolley ride over there that they do from like the Sierra Silver Mine Tour place, which is right in downtown. Like I don't have any of it in here, but the shop where you get on this trolley is, they've got, you know, an ice cream store in there. It's a big like, you know, exit through the gift shop place, a lot of souvenirs and stuff like that. And so it's just it's a super cool experience from start to finish. Then you get on this trolley, and we had a great tour guide that, I forget her name, but she was just giving us all the intel as you go around Wallace. You know, she'll show you all the buildings. all the historic districts, stuff like that, before you actually get off, you take the tour, and then you take the trolley back. So the whole experience is really fun if you're hanging out in Wallace. So Wallace, Idaho, don't ever change. But really, if you go to North Idaho, the thing that you're going for, if you're going to North Idaho to do biking, the thing that you're going for is the Hiawatha Trail, which is the crown jewel of the rail to trail system. Like, I didn't come up with that title. The Rails to Trail system came up with that title. If you look in the Rails to Trails brochure, it's like, this is our crown jewel. This is the thing you should go do if you do any Rails to Trails. It's the Hiawatha. Whew. You're talking so fast. I'm going to have to make another video on the Hiawatha. As of now, I do have a video in the description, probably not of this video, but of the other video. It's like my most watched video on the channel, which is because the Hiawatha just gets searched so much. But on actually how to do it, that Chad and I put together a couple years ago, like where you would pick up your passes, how much it costs, where you would rent bikes, all that kind of stuff. It's a 3.5-minute video that I'm going to redo, but I would definitely, if you want to plan this trip, check that out. The people that run the Hiawatha it's the Forest Service. It's basically Lookout Pass. So Lookout Pass is, and I have a video on Lookout Pass, it's a ski hill. It's Idaho's only free ski school. So everyone in North Idaho basically learns to ski at Lookout Pass. The snow there is great, even though it's a smaller ski hill. The snow there is supposedly phenomenal. And I did ski it last year and the snow was good. About 3 lifts, but in the summer they take over and they basically run the Hiawatha Trail. So Lookout Pass is on the border of Idaho and Montana, and when you get to the Hiawatha and this east portal here, like that east portal, that's actually technically in Montana. You pass over into Idaho halfway through the St. Paul's Tunnel, which is the first thing you go through. It's that big 1.5 mile long dark tunnel. And I thought the St. Paul's Tunnel was the longest tunnel in the rail to trail system. I was corrected on that. It is the, God, I can't even say it. It's in the comment section. The Soquim, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to look it up. It's something. It's over in Washington somewhere else. But this one's long too, 1.5 miles. So if you plan your trip, you got to have lights. You can rent all this stuff from Lookout Pass. If you haven't ordered a pass yet, you can. If you order a pass ahead of time, you can pick up your pass at this portal. You don't actually have to go to Lookout Pass. But if you don't have a pass and you just show up at this portal, you can't get on the Hiawatha. You'll have to go back to Lookout Pass and actually get your pass. Go back to Lookout Pass to get your pass. So make sure if you don't have your pass, if you haven't gone to lookoutpass.com or ridethehiawatha.com or whatever and gotten your pass ahead of time, make sure you stop by Lookout Pass and pick up your pass before you make it to the east portal. It's about 10 minutes away. So, if you miss out on it, like whatever, you can go back and get it. And then obviously 47 degrees in that tunnel. Make sure you have lights. Make sure you have something to dress warm with. And then make sure that you have something to put whatever you dressed warm in your jacket, in your bag or whatever. A bag to put your jacket in or whatever. That tunnel's also wet, so it'll get you wet. It'll drip water on you, stuff like that. So also make sure that you prepare for that. So you go through here, you'll go through the tunnel. First, St. Paul's Tunnel, obviously 1.5 miles. I just spoke on it. The whole trip is about 15 miles. and it's all downhill. So it's a slight grade downhill. It's crushed gravel, so pretty easy on the bikes. And then most people ride down and then take the bus up. So there's a bus at the bottom that takes you up. And I always thought like, oh, obviously that's the way, you should totally do it that way. If you have an e-bike, or if you're just like the uphill back, it's a slight grade down. So you can actually come back. That bus ride does suck coming back. It's like a real narrow dirt road. It takes you about an hour. Like the bus is always pulling off and having to like let other cars and people through. It's hot. There's no air conditioning on a hot summer day. And it's obviously you're all crammed in there like sardines. What we did on this trip, and obviously we had the electric bike, so it was super easy, is about 11 miles in. Oh man, I forget the name of it. There's like a billboard. There's a stop. It's called Falcon, like Falcon train stop or whatever. That was the name of where the train would stop on this route. It was called Falcon. It's 11 miles down. If you want to turn around and come back, that's where you should turn around and come back. Don't do the whole 15. Just do 11. Stop at Falcon. Turn and come back. That's what we did. By that point, you're done with all the tunnels. You're done with all the trestles. It's basically just 4 more miles on dirt through, trees and stuff like that. All this cool stuff you're done with. So if you're going to go back up and you want to skip that bus ride, stop at Falcon 11 miles in, turn around, go back up, do the trestles again, do the, St. Paul Tunnel again. You can do it. You can do it on a mountain bike. I mean, it's not that hard, especially if you're like a serious biker. Now, if you're like me and just lazy, like if I didn't have the e-bike, I'd probably just go to the bus and, they'll load your bike up for you and stuff like that. So that's the Hiawatha. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty easy. Other interesting thing about the Hiawatha that a lot of people don't know, but I don't know why you do this, but if you want, you don't have to have a bike. Like you can run this if you want, or hike it, or walk it, or do anything like that. Which is real interesting. That a mile and a half and 47-degree tunnel and the 0 lights with bikes cruising by you would be strange. But I've had people reach out to me and say, do I have to have a bike? And then I called Lookout and I was like, do you have to have a bike? And they're like, no, not at all. I had one guy, I forget what he called it. It's some sort of sport, but basically what he does, I swear to God, this is what he asked me. He does some sort of sport where you hike in like full-on medieval armor. I don't know what that's called. Someone look that up. It's like, he told me what it was, and I had to do a double check. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I get dressed up in full chainmail, a helmet. I even have a sword strapped to me, and I just go hike in that gear. And I literally called Lookout Pass for this guy and asked them, like, can this guy do that? And they were like, I mean, I think so. It's just it's Forest Service land, or, it's like, so technically you can do that. You don't have to be on a bike. You can just go do whatever your heart desires. But that is the Hiawatha Trail, and that is North Idaho. Who's still with me? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Let's look at this comment section. Hudson's the best hamburgers in CDA. See, someone likes hamburgers. I just camped at Hayburn. There we go. There we go. Where's that lamb shake from in the video? Morgan, the lamb shake is from Wallace. And it's from that little coffee shop bakery place in Wallace. Let me try to find it here. Oh, did I close Google Earth? Well, By the way, Google Earth Pro is free. And I love using it. My uncle's crazy with Google Earth. He found the tent where they do the Great British Baking Show on Google. He was super proud to tell me that. It's like we should have. It's like you could do a scavenger hunt with Google Earth. That would be cool. All right. Here is Wallace. Here is the Sierra Silver Mine. There is the Bordello Museum. There is the Sierra Silver Mine tour. Right here, what are you? Is the place that I went. Is the bistro that I went. But I can't. It won't tell me. Someone from North Idaho, tell me the restaurant in Wallace that I went to. So many places, so little time. I went to Muchachos Tacos, very good. Blackboard Cafe, that's where the lamb shank was from. It's a super delicious place, right downtown. That was it. This is where the lamb shank was from. Super good. They also had the coolest bookstore in that place that I've seen in a while. They have a bookstore that all the local like newspaper columnists and writers in the area all have a section of their favorite books, and it was just like cool ass books like Hunter S. Thompson and Bukowski and Hemingway, and just like the book collection in there is outstanding. And I just spent like an hour just being like, holy crap, like taking a list of what I could read. Really cool place. Italian sodas there. Baked goods, all sorts of fun stuff. So, Blackboard Marketplace. I'm glad we figured that out. Plug your ears because it gets loud. Yeah, that Sierra Silver Mine is nuts. It's like, they didn't even offer earplugs. It's called stupidity. Ironclad stupidity. Yes, yes, yes. Ugh. Well, happy Wednesday, everyone. Like, it's been fun. I've been digging the channel, man. This thing. It gets under... It's like... I don't know. This summer, when the smoke happened and stuff, it was like... It felt like a job. But, like, I just was like... Recently, with that hike with my mom, with her talking about people, I've been... like, man, I want to have more fun with this channel. How do I have more fun with this channel? And it's like, I'm going to have more fun with it by taking it, like, getting off the actual internet. So, like, that hike I did with everyone and inviting them out, just having fun. Like, I'm meeting with someone that's coming through town in Boise, like, on Saturday. I've been, like, just... I went to a football game with someone the other day that I met through the channel. Not went to a football game. Like, we went to Perea Grill and watched football. It's just like, it's been, and these live streams, it's just fun. Interacting with everyone that's on here and trying to build like a little mini community. And I've got a bunch of stuff planned that I think I want to try to add to it that just seems fun to me, like an organized hike next year. I've got Lana from Banana Inc. working on some fun like t-shirt designs that are really cool. I don't know if you saw that. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen what she designed, but some really cool stuff that's going to be sold in Banana Inc. Like she did this shirt. This is like my favorite design of hers. Her most famous design is the sideways Idaho that's shooting the tree. If you see that, and someone tells you it's not Lana Ross from Banana Inc. who designed that. You can tell them to kick rocks. It's also the #1 like pirated design ever. We got into it about copyright law the other day when we were chatting. I'm gonna have her on here to talk about it. It's crazy. But anyways, she designed an Idaho for me that says like, so here we are at the top, and it's got like it's like trees and mountains and then like a campsite that makes Idaho. And then on the back, like on the back of all these t-shirts, this was something that your boy came up with, just totally 21st centurying it. But it's like we had to design a logo, so it's like my Banana Inc. line. So normally she has like this logo. You can see it on the back. It's got the Idaho, it's got Banana Inc. and all that stuff. So we designed a logo with like my name that looks like that, and on the bottom it says like Idaho in every design, which is Banana Inc.'s slogan. But then I'm printing a QR code into that, and when you scan it, it actually takes you to the YouTube channel. So we literally are putting Idaho into the actual shirt. I thought it was clever, but that's just me. So doing more fun stuff like that just should be fun. So what does her Idaho shooting a tree mean? I see them all over town. Yeah, well, you gotta ask her that. That's, you know what, the one thing, I don't want to give away her secrets. She might hurt me. Like the copyright of that shirt is so weird and so fascinating to me. For someone that actually had to take like a little bit of copyright law for my degree so that basically I wouldn't plagiarize other people was the reason I had to take it. I find copyright to be really fascinating. And so like she can't own the rights to the the state symbol, right? But if you notice that gun shoot, the Idaho thing shooting the tree, oh man, I don't know if I want to give this secret away. All right, I'll give it away to you guys. No one watches this thing to the end. It's just you 5 people. The only thing she can copyright is the actual trigger. So if you see that design, there's a trigger on Idaho with the tree shooting out. And so putting that trigger on the state of Idaho was the only thing she could copyright. So basically, like you could rip her off by just taking that trigger off. It's really fascinating. And I don't know what that gun, the sideways gun with the tree shooting means. She hasn't told me. It's kind of up to interpretation. It's that's her art. I like to think she's just like firing nature into your face. I don't know. I haven't even asked if she's a big gun enthusiast or things like that, but yeah, real fascinating, that design, and just all her designs with Idaho in them. She also, by the way, while we're sitting here and we're just shooting the shit, right next to Banana Inc. downtown is a new store called Compass Goods. Actually, while I was in the Sawtooth, I was doing some work. She just opened that shop, which I think is one of the coolest outdoor shops I've ever seen. Basically, what it caters to is just outdoor games and accessories. So like the cribbage board that you kind of see in my videos, that's sold there. She's made dominoes that is sold there, that are now sold there. She created a chess, checkers out of bandanas that you can buy there. All this stuff. There was another like memory game where you flip, I don't know if you ever played a memory game. All these pads, all this stuff that's super lightweight, that's designed for camping and backpacking to keep you entertained out there. Like that's what that whole store is dedicated to. It just had a grand opening last Saturday. It's on 9th Street, like a block away from Banana Inc. It's where her new office is. It's really cool. If you're looking for stuff to do. I mean, sometimes it's like you're out there backpacking and it's like, okay, we're at camp. What do we do now? But I just went with those 4 guys. We had a chess tournament. We had crossword puzzles. We learned how to play cribbage. There was some whittling going on. There was a lot of fly fishing. So, and most of that stuff we got from Banana Inc. And I don't know how to play dominoes, so someone teach me how to play dominoes. But that one was really, really cool. So Compass Goods, definitely check that out. You can also check it out online. Just type in Compass Goods to Google, and you can order that stuff online. Gonna make really cool Christmas gifts for that outdoor lover in your life. And it sounds like I'm saying that just because I love Lana and what she does, but I do love Lana and what she does. But that stuff's really quality stuff, and all that stuff is manufactured here. Like these shirts, I know where they're printed. They're printed in Garden City, which is just really cool. It's like when you get this shirt, it's designed by someone from Idaho, who lives in Idaho, who employs Idahoans, who gets the shirt printed in Idaho, and then gives you this sweet Idaho design, and I'm all about that. And Compass Goods is the same way, so good on her. Idaho is a total gun state. It is, but I don't think Lana is a gun gal, so I don't think that the tree is actually... I think it's a play on guns, if I were to guess. I don't know. We'll have to get her in here to talk. She's so busy. I've asked her, and she's like, yeah. And then 2 days before, she cancels. But Lana, stop canceling on me. But all right, let me get out of here. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Stay warm out there. Next week, we're in Wyoming's Wind River Range, 50 miles that I did with my mom. It's going to be an epic video. I'm going to live stream next Wednesday about it afterwards. Mom is over on the East Coast, or I'd get her in here, so stay tuned from that one. All right, so here we are. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. See you next time.